the Empowered Life. Join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast. Today is such an exciting day. I can't believe I've actually launched a podcast. Welcome to the first episode of Living the Empowered Life podcast. My name is Yvonne Ellis, as you heard from that introduction. I'm a woman of many skills, talents and experiences. And on this podcast, I want to share with you things that are empowering, encouraging and inspiring so that you can live an empowered life. Today is so exciting that I have actually taken the time to video record this first episode as well. On YouTube, I have a channel called Living the Empowered Life channel. And on that channel as well, I share things that are empowering, encouraging and inspiring. Also book reviews, personal development, everything to help people live the best life they can. And to mark this occasion, I decided I wanted to video record this episode and also mark the occasion by just having it on my YouTube channel. I will be posting snippets of my podcast on my YouTube channel as well and leaving the link in the description box for people to go and subscribe to wherever my podcast is, on iTunes, Sticher, on different platforms where podcasts will be, so that you won't miss any of my episodes. So today, as I said, is an exciting day, the launch of my podcast, 3 years in the making. It was something that was on my heart to do for a long time, and I felt a really strong impression that it was something I was supposed to be doing. Back in 2017, I was meant to launch my podcast. I had planned episodes, even picked music for my podcast, but I didn't do anything with it. As a matter of fact, I did the work for it and I just put it to the side. The reason for that being is just because I lacked courage, I didn't really have confidence. And again in 2019, I thought that I would hold myself accountable by putting it on my goals for 2019. And on my goal list, it said launch podcast. But again, 2019 came and went and I didn't do anything about doing it. So here we are today in November 2020. And I'm finally filming my first episode of Living the Empowered Life podcast. So in this episode today, it's an introduction to who I am, what Living the Empowered Life is about, and what you can expect from the podcast. First of all, I want to thank you for taking your time to listen into Living the Empowered Life podcast. Time is valuable and I appreciate however much time you have to listen in on this episode. So thank you so much. And I hope that you will also subscribe so that you can get notifications of when I upload or release new episodes of this podcast. So I just want to share with you just some things about my background, where I've come from and what I hope to do with this podcast, and also what you will need to listen to this podcast. And don't worry, you're not going to be expected to buy anything or do anything. Really, it's just about your time. So the first thing you need to know about me is that I've not always lived the empowered life. As a matter of fact, I started off as a disempowered person. And that started right from within my childhood. At the age of 9 to 13 years old, I went through childhood sexual abuse, and going through childhood trauma set a course for my life over many years that left me disempowered. I felt that I was just going through life with lots of different problems. I had a lot of different issues that I had to deal with because of going through that traumatic event. It was a 20+ year journey of healing from those experiences. And towards the end of that journey, I started to do things and make choices to enable me to live the life that I want. I never thought that this was possible because I thought that my circumstances, which had such a strong hold on my life, would determine the outcome of my life. I didn't feel like there was any hope for me. I didn't think that I could fulfill my goals or dreams. And I just went through life just letting circumstances rule my life, rather than me taking control of my circumstances. And it was through this journey of discovering who I was, taking back control of my choices and decisions, building my self-esteem and confidence, that I started to make choices based upon the things I wanted for my life. And it was absolutely thrilling to be able to do that. The more things that I found that I could accomplish and achieve, the more things that I started to do. I started to think outside the box with my life, and I started to really go for things that required a lot of courage. And yes, it was very hard, it was very difficult, but because I was in the mindset and the mind frame that I wanted to live life on my terms, I decided to choose life and do the things that I needed to do to get what I wanted. So as a result of the choices and decisions I made, putting in the hard work of personal development, healing from past circumstances, and just making really positive decisions, here I am today with you here on the Living the Empowered Life podcast. So it is because of the fact that I've overcome so much adversity and so many hard and difficult situations that I'm passionate about helping people live the empowered life. There is a saying that goes, life begins at 40. And yes, at 40 years old, when I decided I'm going to step out of my job and step out and start my own company, that is when I really started to embrace fully living the empowered life. I believe it is possible for anybody, no matter what age, no matter what circumstances, to live the empowered life. If you're somebody who really wants this, it can be done and you can do it. So here are 3 quick things you need to know about me. I desire to live my life to the full. I spend a lot of my time learning things and doing things that help me live the empowered life. I read a lot of books, I take in a lot of knowledge, I'm always practicing new things and keeping my mind open to new opportunities and new possibilities that can happen in my life. Even though I came from a broken and hard background, I desire to live the empowered life and all that entails. And the last thing you need to know about me is that I am a woman of passion and vision. Everything that I do, I put my heart into it 100%. I find it very hard to just not try things, and I will always keep my mind open to giving things a go. What you will need as a listener of Living the Empowered Life podcast is a willing spirit, a heart to try, and a desire to learn. I promise you on this podcast that you will be empowered and encouraged and inspired in some way, shape or form to do something beneficial for your life. Each week's episode will be looking at different things that make up the empowered life. I will also be doing interviews with people who have done things that are amazing, things that have been life-changing for others, things that have empowered themselves and empowered other people, to show you that it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you go towards finishing. It doesn't matter if you're in the later years of life or you've been stuck doing certain things, it doesn't matter. You can always make a change. I will also share powerful quotes, biblical inspiration, and anything else that I feel will add value to your life. So thank you for listening in today. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and I will see you on the next episode. So here are some things I believe I know about you already. The fact that you are listening in to Living the Empowered Life podcast tells me you are looking for some type of life change. You know there is more to life than you're living, and that you want to explore all life has for you. Am I right? I hope so. So what you can expect from the Living the Empowered Life podcast is content that will add value to your life. I will also share quotes, biblical inspiration. I will also have on guests who are doing things to live the empowered life or empowering the lives of others to inspire you and encourage you. So these are some of the exciting things that I've got coming up in some of the episodes of Living the Empowered Life. I'm really excited to share this journey with you. Thank you so much for taking your valuable time today to listen in. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, whatever platform you can get this podcast, whether it's Apple iTunes or Sticher. And I will see you on the next episode.